Coming to fight week as we zoom out on the undisputed middleweight title between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall. It is becoming more and more clear that when you evaluate this fight, class tells all. Let's talk about this fight that's taking place this weekend. This coming Saturday from the O2 Arena in London, September 10th, we will see the undisputed middleweight showdown between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall. These two fighters once met in the amateurs, where Marshall was able to stop the train of Claressa Shields, handing her only defeat in the amateurs. But Shields will go on to win gold and also become a stellar fighter professionally. Marshall has held this single victory over Shields for her career as a pro, using that as her pot of gold. But now she gets the opportunity to step up and face the woman that she defeated as an amateur 10 years ago. What does that mean for the sport? What does it mean for the two combatants? We're going to find out. This past weekend, their face-off was released, and the two of them had a chance to sit down and look each other in the eye and speak on what was, what currently is, and what they expect coming this Saturday.
I'm happy to be here. Once those lights come on, I'm ready to do what I do best. I want to show her that, yeah, you beat me when I was 17, but I'm 27 now. The fight back then doesn't matter. It's a whole different ballgame now.
It was an amateur win, and we're not in the amateurs anymore. This is it. This is go time. This has been what I've been working for ever since I turned pro, to become undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
To hear them speak on this is something that we needed to see for insight as to what we expect may take place. Marshall, who's currently touted as the hardest punching woman in boxing currently, with a record of 12-0 with 10 KOs, has fought exclusively in the UK. She did perform on the Floyd Mayweather-Conor McGregor undercard, but after that, she has had primarily most of her fights over in the UK. Many people feel that she's only comfortable being in that environment where she can be amongst her family, friends, in her own comfort zone. But as a world champion, you do have to venture out, as Shields is doing in this instance, teaching Marshall something that she's learned from her loss in the amateurs. Think about it. This is time to grow up, people. When asked, both fighters had a nice response about the significance of the undisputed title. An interesting take by both parties.
Also great too.
Savannah, an undisputed world title fight here in the UK, that's a big, big deal.
It's a massive deal. It's a massive deal. It's what I've worked hard for. It's what I've wanted. And we're here.
Well, I've been undisputed twice. This will be a third time for me. I've already been undisputed at 160 before. It means a lot to be undisputed, but it means more to avenge my own loss in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? I am the greatest woman of all time. I proved that, but it's still just that one blemish, and she's sitting here. And I want to show her that, yeah, he beat me when I was 17, but I'm 27 now, and I've grown a lot since I was 17, mentally and physically. And I just want to keep proving that I'm the best. So being undisputed 3 times is great.
One thing that can be taken into consideration for this promotion is the loss that Claressa had 10 years ago in the amateurs to Savannah Marshall seems to be the only promoting point that they have. Savannah's professional career doesn't seem to take much stock in the advertisement and promotion for this fight. Yes, she's a world champion, but Claressa's more decorated in her accomplishments with the same amount of fights. And instead of harping on what they are doing professional, the only thing that they're doing is promoting her from the standpoint of an amateur win. We can go back into the annals of history and look at other significant amateur wins, like when Terrell Biggs defeated Lennox Lewis in the amateurs, or when Henry Tillman defeated Mike Tyson in the amateurs. Now, what happened in both instances when those men faced off as professionals? As professionals, Lennox Lewis banged Terrell Biggs to another universe. So what we're saying here is, it really doesn't matter when you're not professional. What matters is the growth that takes place when you are a professional. Savannah has had key people behind her, behind the scenes and out in the open. The success that you see is not necessarily on her athletic merit. There are people in this sport who can be very influential, and they can open up doors for you, making you appear to be stellar, outstanding. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you can ride that success independently. Sometimes the truth is a hard pill to swallow. But when we are out here, we see these things, and sometimes we pay attention, sometimes we ignore, and other times still, we just don't take a lot of stock into it. But I'm here to tell you that when you watch this woman, Marshall, she's quite unsure of herself. She's very soft-spoken and simply does not come across as the most confident of personalities. But she is a talented fighter. She does have some skills, but I do not believe her skills are on par with Shields. And the fact that they're being dismissive of Shields, I don't know if this is a culturally biased thing or if it's just a seeding of trying to supplement what's missing from Marshall. But everyone who's interviewed from that side seemingly hawks upon their amateur match. It kind of reminds me of how the support that Anthony Joshua received from his countrymen. They blindly looked ahead instead of looking at what was right in front of them. Joshua was a project at work, and he never really developed once he got a hold of titles. Shields, on the other hand, who's now also 12-0 with 2 KOs, has fought the better opposition, and she has challenged herself by even dabbling into MMA now. She aspires to be the best that she can be. She's highly competitive and she has a motorized spirit. She does channel a female version of Ali when she speaks of herself as the GOAT. Her trainer, John David Jackson, a former world champion in the junior middleweight division in boxing, also reflects something that was sorely needed. He seems to have brought the right type of temperament and training acumen that serves well for Shields. She has become a much better fighter under the tutelage of John, who is not getting enough credit for what he's done with her. But not only that, she's the type of charge. She doesn't require a whole lot of instruction hands-on. She's the type that you can point her in a direction, give her the rules and the text, and she can go and get the job done. That is an outstanding person to be able to work with. It's a lot like when Virgil Hunter was working with Andre Ward, though their relationship went back years longer than Shields' relationship with John David. But it's a similar principle. Now let's get to the nitty and the gritty of technical proficiency. I know that over there they're teaching Savannah how to punch hard and strong, be sturdy, but there are certain things that you can't teach, and that's athleticism. And when you have talent along with athleticism, plus a championship spirit and desire to win and be the best, when you put all of that into a package, you come up with someone like Claressa Shields. This is what will separate the two of these women when it comes down to it on fight night. And I do believe that they're banking that because Claressa can be loud and her voice is strong and her mouth will run, that they think that she may be a person who is not a person of substance. But that's the Westerner in Claressa. We can be that way because we know we're good. This is Stormy B Man. This is my editorial on Shields versus Marshall. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about this fight coming up. Until the next time we speak, peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.